back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to have Beatna Lee Sanchez.
You literally don't have to use my full name. You can call me B.
You want to start over?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Don't look her up, guys. You psychopaths. Don't look her up. This episode is brought to you by Celsius.
I don't know what your obsession is with that.
I have a drinking problem.
For all drinks?
Gross.
Not just alcohol? I thought it was just alcohol.
No, it's just... well, no. Mainly alcohol. And once in a while, pre-workouts. So...
Is that what that is? Not just an energy drink?
I'm not an expert on anything, if I'm being honest. So, we just went to get like a late lunch dinner-ish thing at a place called Coco Palm. If you're from California, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was fantastic.
Good Cuban food.
Yeah, great Cuban food. I've never been before, so it was really, really cool. And we had some crazy old fashions when we were there, speaking of alcohol.
That shit was bomb. I don't like old fashions, but as soon as they took a sip of yours, I was like, okay, I'll order one.
Pretty good. I mean, I haven't had an old fashioned that good in a while.
Yeah.
Man.
I really think it was like them using the brown simple syrup that made it work.
Yeah. They were using brown sugar and like a double rye whiskey. I like my old fashions with rye whiskey. It's just better flavor, in my opinion, like much better than something like Jack Daniels. You know?
Is it usually, it's whiskey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just a different style of making whiskey. But
so what was it yesterday?
Double rye whiskey is what they were using.
What does that mean?
It's just the type of whiskey that they're using. I don't know. I don't make it.
It sounds fancy, and it tastes good.
Yeah. Very fancy. But it was good. It was good. We all got different... Well, actually, we didn't get anything different. We got the same thing.
Yeah.
She's the one that told me what to get. It was great.
If you like pork, it's like... Is it Masitas de Puerco? Sorry about my accent.
Yeah.
But...
Well, I mean, I know, you're all shocked. She doesn't speak Spanish. Whatever.
But it's just chunks of, like, pork belly that are fried. So bomb.
So good. So good. So get the Mesitas de blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Yeah, even better.
The Mexican in you really showed there.
Perfect.
What a shame.
I know. Tragic. My God. Off to a good start. I showed the world that I have a drinking problem, and I also don't speak Spanish, so perfect.
What else do you got going for you?
I'm broke as a joke.
Oh, okay. Well, he's single, ladies. Or boys. I don't know.
No shock there. What up, boys? You know, I do anything for $20. Almost. So we had old fashions. It was fantastic. Rob's daughters were visiting, so it was cool to see them.
Yes.
They treated Rob and us to a fantastic dinner. It was really, really cool. Out of the blue, you know.
So
total
cute.
Surprise. Very cool. Me and Rob, our birthdays are super close. They're only by 2 days difference.
Yeah.
So it was super cool. Rob's my best friend, so you know.
Yeah.
It's cool just to have birthdays back to back, get it out of the way. I don't have to remember, you know, so close to mine.
You're like, it's right there, it's fine. And then the neighbor.
Yeah. And well, literally everybody else I had. That's why
you have another friend, don't you?
My brother Matthew.
What?
Yeah, his birthday is in like a couple days. But
and then your roommate. So you have Rob, our neighbor, your roommate, your brother.
Yeah, my roommate's birthday is the day after mine.
So it's never about you.
No, not normally. Almost never, actually, if we're being honest.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, poor Cameron.
I know. Please donate.
We could use all the money we can get.
To make Cameron feel better about himself. So, yeah, it was great. But I don't make my birthday like a thing that I do. You
just don't like to, or?
It's just another day. I mean,
it's birthdays. It's once a year.
It just reminds me of the day that I was plunged into this world that has no rules.
You have no choice but to live.
Oh, great.
Fend for yourself after 18. Maybe younger.
Make rent. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it.
Oh, Lord. Well, that just depressed me.
So, in other news, it was a great time. It was a great time. Heavily recommend the place. Always a great place to take the ladies, guys.
Great view.
Or men.
Yeah.
It was a great place to take your boyfriends. I'm sure they would appreciate it.
Great view. Mm-hmm. It's in Pomona. I feel like there's not a lot to do in Pomona, but those two restaurants...
Like a little bit of nothing, honestly.
It's Coco Palm, and then the other one I think is like Pomona Mining Company. I think it's like American.
Oh yeah.
Barbecue.
It's another restaurant.
I'm not 100% sure, but they're both on the hill. It's a great view, and
it's like the only good view in all of Pomona.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So heavily recommend going there. And then we came back here to the Bob Cave, but we didn't bring Bob today because he's grouchy and he's nervous too. Give him a break.
He needs a nap.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about aliens the other day, which was kind of interesting. I wish we.
He's like very well educated on aliens, though.
He thinks so.
Okay, are you gonna?
No.
Go into more detail.
I pretend like I know way more, but no. I'm a big fan of aliens too. He specifically wanted to talk about like the pill spaceship.
Oh, that video.
Yeah, which is like a fairly new thing for me. I didn't know like a ton about it until recently.
Is that the Tic Tac thing?
Tic Tac, yeah, that's what I meant. The Tic Tac craft, and like I thought that was super interesting. Especially if you know anything about like Bob Lazar. You don't know anything about him?
He tells me all the time, but I feel like my brain's just like, this is a lot of information. I can't take everything in.
I remember this one time I was cooking dinner while listening to the Bob Lazar interview, like with Joe Rogan or whatever. And like, anyways, after hearing that interview, or excuse me, that podcast, I thought it was super interesting, so I started looking into it. And basically, the thing specifically that was interesting about the Tic Tac videos is like the craft's like maneuverability, like it's like super all over the place.
Yeah, I saw the video and I was like, that is weird.
Like it's just able to like make like crazy like 90-degree turns at like 100 miles an hour type thing. And
yeah, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, well, it's like unheard of. Like one of the biggest critiques of like Iron Man and like the movies, like by people who really nerd out to it or nerd out to the science, I should say, is like the fact that Tony Stark would like anytime he makes like a crazy turn, like what in real life, if that happened, what would really happen is like Tony Stark would suddenly stop and start to go, and then he would just crash because Tony inside of the suit would literally die from like those G-forces.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's what they were saying. It's crazy to see, like, a spaceship, like going, like, 100 or 200 miles an hour, just, like, stop and on a dime just turn. Because
it shouldn't be possible.
Yeah, whoever's inside, like, their insides would, like, slam against the inside of their body. It's kind of like the
concept of, like, what is it, gyroscoping or whatever? Like, your body can't do that unless it's, yeah.
And, like, so that, basically, Bob Lazar was talking about, he says that he worked at Area 51, and, he says that they had a bunch of ships, and a lot of those ships, they had the same type of engine, and they don't exactly know what the engine is exactly. All they know, or the theory that what it does, is it essentially like it allows you to, instead of passing through gravity, I guess, it allows gravity to pass around you. So like basically you're almost sitting still inside the ship, and gravity's moving around you, and so it's having no effect on you.
Yeah. So
that allows you to be going. You could be going 1,000,000 miles an hour and stop instantly, and it would have zero effect on you.
Yeah.
And so that's what he was basically saying, because he was essentially saying that when the machine is powered up, you can't touch it.
Yeah.
Like it's creating its own gravitational
around
bubble.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it creates its own gravity, and that allows it to just move through. Yeah. Like, I know.
Isn't that like, my brain's like, what?
Only Christopher Nolan understands this conversation, and we're saying it in layman's terms, so I hope you guys are tracking. But it was just super interesting, and watching the Tic Tac video, it kind of just like adds credibility to Bob Lazar, because for that to be a real thing, you would need an engine like that, and I think that's nuts, because that technology does not exist on Earth.
So what is it? Where is it from?
Exactly. Well, he says there's I can't remember the name of the star system it's from, but He says, or is it Beta Articuli or something? Star system is what.
You're asking the wrong person. Yeah. Go ahead.
Please, B, can you tell me where is the ship from? But I think they said it's like Beta Articuli system or something like that. I mean,
that's crazy.
This is like I didn't even know where we were going to go with this conversation. So, but yeah, so they said it came from that star system. How they know beats the hell out of me, but that's what they say this is from. So. Who
they
knows?
Know more than they're saying. If they know that much,
well, there's that's for sure. How much they know for sure is really the question. Because I mean, my biggest question is how do you even know? Like, what is Beta Articuli? How'd you come up with that? Whose last name is that part of? That's what I want to know.
That would be That's crazy. I mean, it's not far fetched that there's something out there. It's just crazy that it's like footage, evidence.
Finally.
And they're like almost pretty like open about it now. Where they're like
almost pretty is a great way of putting it.
Because it's not like they were like aliens exist. They're like we have UAPs.
Yes.
You know? It's like them admitting it but not really.
Yeah. And telling us when like literally nobody cares. Because everyone's like super worried about COVID and all that stuff. Like no one cared.
I think everyone also was like, I kind of had an inkling.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
I could believe it. You didn't say aliens.
It's like if like the fat person at the party like shows them like, guys, I have an eating problem. Everybody's like, yep. Like, yeah, okay, we got it. You're breaking new ground. Man, what I'm hoping for is some actual good HD footage of the hide and seek champion of the world, Sasquatch. That's what I'm hoping for.
I thought you were really going to talk about like, have you ever seen it? Sorry.
I don't know.
Like tag competitions and stuff? Like, there's like straight up, like, I thought you were really going to talk about a true, like, hardcore gold medalist hide and seek championship.
Well, if there was a thing, I mean, you know, the big hairy fellow, he'd probably be the one, to win it. Like him and Elvis, you know, and Eazy-E.
Damn.
You don't think Eazy-E's dead?
Or I don't know.
You don't think Eazy-E's still alive, I mean?
Maybe.
I knew a guy named Justin who told me that he saw Eazy-E in Puerto Rico.
Did he have footage?
No, because it's fucking fake. That didn't happen. His ass was probably drunk.
He was like, damn, that's definitely Eazy-E.
He just saw an old guy in Puerto Rico with a jerry curl.
He was like, yeah, that's him.
It has got to be. And he's probably with Princess Diana. Yeah,
oh, Lord.
The both of them escaped together. Incredible. Justin was an incredible guy that I knew. He's still alive.
I was like, where is he now, Cameron? Why are you talking about him in the past
Somewhere
tense?
in Lake Elsinore, probably.
Oh, he's a friend from... Okay.
Friend is doing a lot of weightlifting.
Acquaintance.
He's actually the father of a couple of my nieces and a nephew.
So...
But he's not married to my sister. I don't know. What the hell is that called? Like an
got a weird
ex-brother-in-law? Ex-brother-in-law, I guess? Well, they were never married. I don't know.
So it's like a sibling's ex-husband?
Yeah, but they were never married. Basically just siblings' baby daddy, I guess.
Technically, it's like your...
almost brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were basically together forever, but...
Yeah, that's basically your brother-in-law.
Yeah, I don't like that, though. No, I'm just kidding.
I hope he sees this.
He might. I don't know. Love you, Justin. You're a great guy. You're just crazy. That's all. Love you to death, but you are just insane. But, you know, the nieces and nephews are great. They're awesome.
That's not the one you've brought here before, right? That's different, brother.
No.
He's got a huge family, by the way. I can't keep
up. 9 siblings. No, the one I brought here was Seth. Mm-hmm. That's my nephew, who is David's son.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you've never met David.
No, I think I've only met 2 of your brothers.
Yeah. Well, you haven't seen the half of it.
No. I know your sister, but I've never met her either.
Yeah, Victoria.
Yeah.
You never met Victoria?
No.
Oh, thank God.
I think you told me when we were living in Marina, like, oh, she works down the street. You should go visit her. But we just
Salt
would
and
never
Straw.
go get ice cream. So I was like,
no, that's too bad. Salt and Straw was...
They are really good. I've been there before, but just not when she's working, so...
You know, all the people that work there, they're a bunch of petty bitches.
Why?
Well, you'd have to ask her, but...
She left. What's she do now?
Oh, yeah, she left a long time ago, but she works at a salon and this other, like, skate shop type thing.
Oh, cute. Nice.
Yeah, so perfect for her. But the ice cream place, I loved it because we always got free ice cream, but all the people that work there suck.
Oh, that sucks.
But...
That area, it's off... maybe I shouldn't say, but...
Salt and Straw, it's off of Abbot Kinney in Venice.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say all the people that worked there sucked. I'm sorry. So if any of you worked there with my sister at Salt and Straw, you don't suck.
You might, but...
You might, but I don't know for sure. Because, Victoria, she's a character. So I could be judging you wrong. I apologize. But maybe you suck.
But that road is really cool. They got a lot of cool stuff.
Abbot Kinney is dope.
It is definitely a certain type of people. So
For sure, for sure. It's so strange. It's like, well, I mean, California is like the petri dish of like, you'll have like the poorest of the poor and then like bougie, coffee drinking people of California, and they're like walking amongst each other. So Abbot Kinney is like a really eclectic mix of people.
Yeah.
Because there's like some of the most expensive restaurants in all of Los Angeles are right there, and then like some of the biggest homeless populations in Los Angeles are also right there. So it's like
I used to work
crazy.
at a nail salon on that street.
Oh yeah.
Sugar Nail. They're great. I hope they're still there, but the clients that would come in super nice. But I'm always like, I like to go over prices. I don't like to like bombard people with like a high price or anything. So I'd like go over things, and almost every single person that would walk in there would be like, I really don't care. Just make them look good. I don't care how much it is. Just do your thing. And I'm like, oh, okay.
$300?
No, I still wouldn't overcharge, but I mean, I could have.
That's too bad. You should have. Acting like that, you deserve it. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Cameron apparently has a drinking problem.
I know.
And doesn't know how to drink. I don't know how that works.
I'm watching the camera while I try to... I'm so stupid.
You're like, let me make sure I get it in my mouth. Let me look at the camera.
Yeah, well, I'm peeking while you're talking, and I just was like, oh, wow, look, you can see the flag with all the signatures, and while I was doing that, I was...
Oh, you can?
Yeah, I just schlemieled all over myself because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
No. Go to college, kids. Don't drink beer and smoke weed. Well, I mean, I guess when you're old enough, if you want to smoke weed, you should. But like, when you're younger, don't. You'll be stupid. Maybe. You owe me a Coke. So, Abbot Kinney, dope place, cool skate shops. Bougie clothing that's also cool. Great ice cream. Salt and Straw, great ice cream.
Some great boutiques too.
Venice is all
I do miss
around.
shopping there.
Do you?
Yeah, I like the clothes and the jewelry.
That's fair. We are no longer in that area. We're in a different area that cannot be disclosed to the general public. Kind of an S4 type situation. Top secret Bob Cave. It's actually built inside of an old missile silo. And,
Reminds me of Supernatural. Was there a bunker?
What was it called?
It was like a bunker, right?
The Men of Letters bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Supernatural, but when it got to that part, I was like, interesting. Now they have a headquarters.
It became like a sitcom type thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's always been a sitcom, but like, headquarters was like, okay. I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm sort of a purist.
Supernatural?
Yeah. Like, if anybody in the comment section is going to throw a hissy fit over this, yes, there is such thing as purists. Shut up. It's not up to interpretation. Season 1 through 5 is Supernatural. Everything after that was just consistent paychecks. Stop it. Even Eric Kripke admits this. Somebody in the comment section, I just know it. Someone in the comment section is going to be like, how the fuck would you know? You don't even know how to drink anything. Fair enough. You're probably right.
Valid.
But yeah, I'm a big Supernatural fan. I'm going to show that off to the world. Can never take that back.
Maybe I'll clip in a picture one day or post it on one of our social media of
just
you
get like a freeze frame of me doing that.
Or no, you with my friend.
No, don't. Me like just doing that, and then like clip in the picture of Dean shirtless, and then like.
You don't want to match with my friend.
No, I don't want to show that I revealed my skin to people in public just because I met someone else with a matching tattoo. Pathetic.
That was a great photo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Most people think so. Some don't.
You were drunk enough to do that.
I don't have a drinking problem. I'm not an alcoholic. It's just every time I'm around these people, they freaking make me drink. They take me to fun places. I'm a fun person. I don't know what to tell you. That's what it all comes down to. We just go fun places. Go to fun places. I don't know how to talk now. What's happening?
He doesn't know how to function in society, you guys.
I'm nervous. I'm sorry.
That's why we're always escorting him places. That's why he gets to go to fun places.
honestly, like whenever, I never offer to drive. Ever. Because, well, I know. I drive a hoopty.
Well, I mean, you drive for work, too. You're fine.
Yeah. I live in cars. It's great. I know, guys. He's single. Like, I see why. God.
As the episode progresses, just a list of red flags.
I know. I'm like, I watch serial killer documentaries, and I spend a lot of time on the internet.
I love smoking cigarettes by myself, drinking beer.
Wow.
Does that hurt?
A little bit.
Anyways, let's talk about the good things about Cameron. He's very talented.
Man,
he's funny.
Looking.
A little bit.
Oh, I know. There's no one else in the room. But yeah, so I'm talented. You know, I used to sing for a Tenacious D cover band.
I totally forgot about your singing.
Yeah.
I love Cameron singing.
It's not really serious. Like I'm not really good, but it's like good enough that it's like this is funny, you know.
But
so
you've got
like,
a great voice.
So well, I don't know. I have like a deeper, weird voice, honestly, compared
That's
to
good.
like most people have like a consistent voice. Mine is like always. I don't know. I just know that like I'm never loud enough, dude. Okay, so anytime
You're loud when you're singing.
Yes, this is true, but like I meant just when I'm not singing, the more important part,
just functioning in real life, having conversation.
Yeah, like can I get like a venti vanilla latte with oat milk? And they're like, what?
You do speak low.
I'm like, can I get a venti vanilla latte with oat milk? Because I just feel like if I'm like venti vanilla latte oat milk that, you know, like they're gonna be like, all right, come on, chill. But like
that's my husband.
It's weird, yeah, literally. Like we have like no medium like level in our voice. It's just, yeah, can I get this, or can't please just get me that. Like that's what I feel like it comes off to people. Like
you have to train. Maybe you just got to train your voice to like speak at a mid level.
Yeah. I don't care about pleasing people in society that much.
But we can't fucking hear you, Cameron.
Fair enough. Okay, well, I'll speak a little bit louder, and we'll see where we go from there. No, but what was I going to say? I was going to say something about 7-Eleven, but I have a lot of experiences with 7-Eleven. I live, like, near one, so...
Good or bad?
Bad. Awful. Don't ever.
Every single one of them?
Yeah, well, I mean, like... So imagine you're looking at a neighborhood to move in at, right? And this is just advice for anyone out there who is, like, thinking about moving to LA. So... If you're going to move in somewhere and you look around in your general area and you see like grocery stores, restaurants, 7-Eleven, if that stuff is in your general vicinity, grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, gas stations generally, to have them near you is a good thing, except for 7-Elevens. That's a red flag. And I mean this with the most seriousness. If you see a 7-Eleven on the same street as you, skip the apartment. Do not move in, please, for the love of God. It's going to be a constant headache.
So you mean like vicinity, or just like straight up like it's on the corner you live on?
Well, that especially, but I really mean if it's in your vicinity, because those things are like chud magnets. And so in LA we have homeless people. We have like homeless people that do drugs, and then we have chuds. Chuds are zombies. They're the ones that are like, they're like 2 seconds from like no longer. They're like 2 seconds from becoming primates. You know what I mean? Like
they're just not functioning anymore.
They like run around and howl and stuff, and like wail at night, and like.
I feel you. There used to be a guy across
you know
from the marina apartment every day.
There was like a dude with like a really big beard who like just was like crazy, right? Like snarling and stuff, and like sometimes I feel like I wouldn't see like dark in his eyes. It would be like all white, and he's just like.
He just transformed into this other supernatural being.
Into like, like he thinks he's a werewolf almost. Like
it's nutty.
The craziest thing. But the thing is, super loud. Midnight, howling. Yeah, and it's like you're sitting there laying in bed like, oh.
Wait, where's the 7-Eleven by your house?
It's like next door, basically, right around the corner.
Jesus.
Yeah. Big mistake. I thought when I first
cool.
I thought when I first moved in, I was like, dope. Anytime I need a water or whatever,
just walk on over.
7-Eleven's right there. But nope, big mistake. Biggest mistake of my life. Well, I don't know about the biggest, anyway.
Are we gonna just keep listing the worst things about you?
my whole life is one big regret. Like
poor Cameron.
Everything I do. Oh man, I look back on it, man.
Why did I do that?
Yeah. Her? Oh, God.
Him? Maybe.
Not bad. He worked out. Just kidding, guys. I'm not. Anyways. But yeah. You see a 7-Eleven next door. X-nay that. Not worth it. Find somewhere else.
We have the 7-Eleven right here.
No, you don't.
Right there.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not nearly close enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's not like they're like wandering right past your front door.
That's true. I think this one gets a lot more truckers.
For sure. Well,
yeah.
Well, you guys are pretty far away from the water.
Yeah.
I'm like fairly close to the water. I'm only.
And that's where all the kind of crazies gather.
Definitely, they like.
Unfortunately.
That is the hive.
Yeah.
And
you want to know what I saw the other day? I was like near the warehouses. And I look and see this. It's like a homeless encampment kind of thing.
Yeah.
And okay, it's LA. I get it. But the craziest, and I was like, do I respect this person or do I hate them?
Did they build like a house, basically?
So there's an RV. No, I've seen those, but there was an RV, and on top of the RV, they built a whole patio. Like they put a fence around it. There was chairs, an umbrella. They even like extended it so you could like walk off and then built a fence around that. And I was like, what the hell?
I respect that.
Yeah, I was like, that's very innovative if you're gonna live there.
Hopefully it doesn't burn to the ground.
Yeah. There was a lot. It was like tents, and then there was just that one. And I was like, is this like the mayor? Like, what do they do?
The homeless RV flagship.
I wish I took a picture of it, but I was by myself, and I felt a little bit worried.
That's
like
hilarious.
because they were just like biking around, and I was like, I really want to take a picture of this because I think it's kind of cool. Little. But I was like, no, I don't want them to be like, what are you doing?
Don't take a picture of my RV. That's funny.
Definitely had to be the mayor.
Man. The mayor of this area?
No, I hope not.
I was going to say,
for the love of that homeless encampment. Definitely somebody that's important to them. It's got to be.
Interesting. How do they even afford the lumber? That's crazy.
Maybe it looked like they just like picked up a bunch of stuff and built it. It wasn't like a nice fence. It was like they definitely built it with what they had, but it looked great. So weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why that made me think of the house that my aunt and uncle used to live in.
That worries me.
Yeah. Which is weird because it's not a bad house. It was
Why did it make you think
beats the hell out of me? But I just immediately started thinking about that, and that was random. But anyways, I was going to share a bunch about that house, but you guys don't give a shit, so whatever. But it was a cool house. I don't know why. Anyways, but that's funny. That's really funny and weird that somebody would go to all that effort. But it sounds actually like a smart idea because inside is probably a pigsty, maybe a little bit of a meth lab going on, but up top,
you got all the air.
That's the chill zone. Fresh air, movement.
And you don't have to deal with all the other people walking around.
You're also not taking up, I keep hitting this, you're not going to take up a single extra inch of the room that you take up, so the city can't be mad.
Yeah.
Because I originally thought you were gonna say that in that tent city you saw someone like built like a plywood house.
I've seen some of those.
Yeah,
they're crazy.
On like what is it, Main Street in downtown? There used to be like, it had to be like a 20-foot house that was like 10 feet tall easily, all plywood. Literally, it had a front door. It had like a little shed off to the side of it. Like they set up shop.
Yeah, there's, people in LA, we're all going to complain about it just because it's unfortunate that they're on the streets, and I get it. But I feel like people of LA I like look at it and I'm like, damn. But I'm also sometimes like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't help but be impressed because I'm like, I can't do that.
I think some of them are really cool people. The chuds are not.
Yeah, they seem like they're one step away from becoming some kind of being.
Fight. They always want to fight. Oh. I don't get it. Like they're like you walk by them and they're like, "What'd you say to me, motherfucker? I'll fight you." And I'm like, "You really don't have to do that." It's okay.
I'm walking away.
Yeah, I'm just going to 7-Eleven. You decided to hang out here.
It's one crazy. Time this lady asked me for change and I literally didn't have any change on me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any change." I was walking my car and she was like, "Fucking liar." I was like, "What? Why are you so aggressive with me? You're asking me for something. I don't have it."
Well, a guy was like, he's like, "Hey, would you buy me some beers and a pack of cigarettes?" And I looked at him and I was like, "You talking to me?" And he was like, "Yeah, give me some beers and he said like Mickey's or something like that, and like
you had a preference.
Mickey's and a pack of cigarettes." And I looked at him like, "You might as well just ask me for $20. Like, what the hell? Like, a pack of Mickey's and a pack of cigarettes? Like, do you have any idea how much a pack of cigarettes
is? More than $20. Probably gonna be like 25, 30.
Yeah, what the hell? Like, that dog, you're asking for a little bit right now. Like, I should have asked him,
do you want my whole wallet?
What are you gonna do for me? That's what I should have asked him. Like, man, my house needs to be cleaned.
Do you want to clean my house?
Actually, I'm just kidding. I would never would I ever let one of those guys in there.
Your house is pretty clean, I think.
Yeah, generally.
I've been there once.
I just would never like let them.
Oh yeah, no.
House and, like,
don't let strangers in your house, guys.
Yeah, big one. Big rule, guys. Life lesson. Don't ever let strangers into your house. Sorry. Especially.
I'm moving this. I keep knocking.
Oh, you're tearing apart our set.
Sorry. I mean, I still got the
That's
mic.
True. That's true. All right. Yeah, don't ever let strangers, especially homeless strangers, into your house when you have like cool shit for them to steal. I have a Dilophosaurus skull and spine, like spinal cord for its neck, in my living room.
Oh, you do? Did I see it?
I don't think you saw it last time. You didn't ask me about it.
Oh, that does sound cool.
I have a couple little fossil collection pieces out there in the living room.
Nice.
I think it like adds character.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me seem more insightful. Like I've read a bunch of books.
I am very smart.
Yes.
But ask me about this specific sculpture dinosaur fossil thing.
Yeah, like it's like a dinosaur fossil, and then a little like what is it called? Anyways, it's just a little shell, like spinny shell kind of fossil.
Oh yeah.
And like I have them right there next to a book and like a little plant. And
do you know what the spinny shell fossil's called?
I do remember. I just can't remember right now. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Because I was going to say, I think the one thing we haven't done together is go to like the Natural History Museum.
I know,
but
we
I
keep
feel
forgetting to do that.
It's something like I would love to go with Cameron too, just because I feel like he'd be a tour guide.
I know. I have little labels on the bottom of their wooden stands, so I made these little oak stands for the fossils to sit on.
Oh, cool!
And I stained them and everything, and I put it all together. And anyways, I had these little tags from when I bought them online.
Okay.
I bought the fossils, and they came with the tags, which tells you where it was found and what the date is. Anyways, on the little whatever it is, the little shell.
The spinny shell fossil.
The little spinny shell fossil. They was found in Madagascar, and it's dated back to the lower Jurassic period, which I guess is like 60 million years ago or something
crazy.
Like that. Yeah, super crazy. What's really nuts is that I have it in my living room, something that's like over 1 million years old.
Yeah.
That's nuts. But anyways, I have it there. It's in awesome condition. Yeah, I love it. All these little fossils are super
Can
cool.
I ask you something I just thought?
Sure.
Like, you have, 1, 2, 3 roommates, or no, 2?
Yeah, well, we have a 4-bedroom condo.
Yeah. So how do you guys, come to like an agreement for how you decorate like the common area?
Well, we normally just put something out there, and if it doesn't jive, it ends up back in whoever's room of whoever put it.
Will
there.
somebody say something like, I don't really like that there?
Yeah, well, when it comes to me, because I like all the nerdy stuff, and everybody else in the apartment's like way too...
They're too cool.
Yeah, they're too cool. So like if I put something out there, normally they'll be like, everyone will be like, nah, we don't vibe with that, bro. And it'll just, when I come home...
Even your brother Skylar?
Yeah, he has no backbone whatsoever. He doesn't stand up for me.
I feel like he's like a low-key nerd.
Yeah, kind of, but yeah, he doesn't stand up for me at all when people bully me.
Well, he is your little brother. You should be standing up for him.
Yeah, but have you seen his traps? They're huge.
His what?
His traps. Anyways,
Is it like muscles?
Yeah. His chest, his traps, and his biceps are big. Like you'd think he would stand up for me.
You're totally kidding.
No, I'm not. Have you seen him without a shirt on?
No.
He's jacked.
You're kidding.
He's twice as big as he was 2 years ago.
I don't believe you for some reason.
He used to be a rail. It's crazy. Like the guy used to be like the tiniest little
Skylar.
Yes. Tiniest little skinny.
Sorry, Skylar. I don't mean to be offensive, but
smallest little skinny dude.
He does look like a skinny dude to me. But I'm kind of a bigger girl, so maybe just to me, but also I've never seen him shirtless because there would be no reason to.
Literally jacked. Like
maybe we should get him to take his shirt off on camera next time.
We should bring him here and make him take his shirt off. He's literally like it's so stupid. When he pretends, okay, he's not like super jacked.
I know, I'm like, he can't be that jacked to the point.
No, but like sometimes like when he's like pretending to be like super big, he'll put his like shoulders out and like hang his arms, but
he just looks like a gorilla or something.
It's so funny. Like he'll be like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was so big.
My god, he's funny though. I can see him doing that.
Yeah, like it's so stupid. We like, what's really funny that he does all the time. When he first started picking it up or doing this, it was so long ago, but it feels like he's been doing it forever. But anyways, he does this thing where like you'll like say a word and he'll fully have understood and heard the word, but he'll intentionally say a different word. Like when he says like, oh yeah, and then like repeats what you said, but like he'll say something else and just to see, like, just because you'll be like sitting there, most people just be like, yeah, and then like continue, but like if you're really listening, you'll be like, no. Like, it's just so funny. Like, okay, so if you've ever seen the movie Accepted, it's like that movie where they like buy like an old rundown building and pretend to go to college, so they like fix it.
Is it with Justin Long or no?
Yes, with Justin
right.
Long. And like in the movie, he like Justin Long like tells the guy, he's like I need 140 pizzas. Like, he looks him in the eye and says, like, we need 140 pizzas to feed all these people. And the guy's like, 14 pizza pockets, got you. And he, like, runs off. And Justin Long's like, no. But, like,
that's what Skylar does.
He always does stuff like that.
That shit would drive me insane. So, I'd be like, what the fuck
I used to be
is
like,
wrong with you?
like, I used to, I would take it too seriously. And I'd be like, no, not that. But, like, yeah, yes.
I could see him doing it just to, like, push your buttons. That would drive me absolutely crazy. So I'd be like, wait, are you listening to me? Or are you fucking with me?
That's why, because we all like know about it, and so when he does it to other people, they're like, no, that's not what I said.
I'm so glad I know this now.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like all the roommates, we like laugh. It's such a it's so stupid. You guys just have to do little things to survive in life. It's the little things that matter. That's all. Even if it's just making little jokes that you all can joke about later when you're stoned.
Is it a joke, or is he just gaslighting everybody?
And maybe a little bit of both, honestly. The truth is only in his head.
I feel like it's a little chaotic.
Very. I'm an agent of chaos. That's what's going on in his head. He's up there on his computer right now, editing and sending emails. It's funny.
Just changing.
Wait, no, you just know it pops up in his head. Like, he's just sitting there like, sucker. And it goes back to what he's doing.
Lord. Your whole family seems really funny.
Oh, God, we try. It's like, there's just so much always going on that you just have to, like...
So you guys are so big. There's so many of you.
Well, like, the funny thing is, and my older brother, Matt, he can attest to this, is like... like whenever we get bad news, we just laugh at this point.
Oh my god.
Because like, and then it's like, it's hard to get Matt to be mad about anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just like, he'll hear it and be like, that's unfortunate. And then just back to work and on
like,
the computer.
Sorry, I'm busy.
And he's like, that sucks. You know, and like just continues on typing. And I've been trying to be more like that because I used to get like worked up. I used to always like, oh god, like that.
Like
makes
with
me
family
so mad.
drama or just like
Anything. Like if anything that's stressful and you know came my way, I like I always have a full plate. Like I always have something going on, and if anything came up that was like just a huge setback, like I would just lose it. I'd be so mad all like the whole day.
Yeah.
But you know, Matt just kind of showed me that like you gotta just
let it be.
Yeah, because it's like there's a lot of things out there that you cannot control.
Yeah.
And maybe you could have if you had foresight and you just thought about it, or maybe if you just taken an extra second to think about it, like what could happen if I make this decision. But sometimes you just make a decision and go.
Yeah.
And then something comes up, it costs you a bunch of money, but like at the end of the day, like whatever, you can't take money with you when you die. So just move on.
Yeah.
And just handle the situation as best you can, and
just keep going.
Yeah, just keep on going.
Just
and so,
keep swimming. Just
honestly,
keep
I
swimming.
mean, literally, because if you get hung up on that thing back there, by the time you get caught back up to where you were, like something else is going to happen. You're just going to be living in
and
a
it's just going to
perpetual
feel
state.
like everything's always going wrong over and over again. Just gotta keep
It sort
moving.
of is, if you think about it. Life is just a
Listen,
series
I'm
of...
trying to
it's a
ignore
series
the
of
negatives, okay?
letdowns
Oh
and
my god.
heartbreaks
Just depression after depression.
Depression, heartbreaks, and, bad things. That's all
Just-
life really is.
Unalive me now.
Remember, guys, don't let one good day fool you into thinking that you are not a failure.
It's all absolute shit.
Yes, it is all a perpetual state of agony.
I think I told one of my
Thanos was
stepdaughters
right.
once, like, she's having a bad day. I was like, listen, it gets better. I mean, it still gets hard,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
things will get kind of better.
Some of the good days are really good, but a lot of them are still going to be bad.
Yeah.
And even more of them are going to be boring. So you got to just do shit that you like so you don't self-delete,
Yeah.
or be a dick. That's actually worse. Like the people
Being a jerk.
Yeah, the people who like don't
So
just
miserable.
self-delete,
Yeah.
like they like take it out on everybody else and they just suck.
I feel like more than self-delete, it's just like, okay, dude, you're miserable. Fix it.
Yeah.
And I know
100%.
it's not that easy when you have when you're like diagnosed with depression, any mental
Yeah.
illness. Like I get it, but I feel like to a certain extent, it's like if it turns you into like just a mean person, it's like, dude, like
Yeah.
there's no reason to be that shitty.
Some people also love being
Mean.
miserable.
Oh, that's true.
Like
They just thrive and
like I feel like there's some like okay, so in like high school there was that girl that just loved being in the drama, just got off on the drama all the time, and then imagine they grow up and all their friends were fake anyways.
Yeah.
So now they have no friends, but they still love the drama.
yeah.
So they just continue being in drama their whole life. Like everything is like, can you believe this person was talking shit on
I
me?
always
Like,
think about people like that because I can't comprehend, because I feel like they're also the least sympathetic, empathetic people. Because they just thrive in
they're
just...
narcissists.
Yeah.
They're
So-
never thinking about anyone
And
else.
I always come across people that I'm like, why did you make that decision? Like, I get it to a certain extent, but do you not understand the pain it's causing for somebody else? And
Yeah.
you can still be upset or mad on your end, but
Mm-hmm.
you still have to have some kind of empathy for the other person.
I think it's a coping mechanism. I think
just ignore them and be like, I'm right 100% of the time.
Well, I think it's like second nature to them. I feel like they don't even realize they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like I think they were like a weird kid that didn't know how to fit in, and they found a clique. And by acting this way, I got in with people, and then from there they just took it.
Kept going.
And then now they're just an adult.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, they have outside of day drinking, these people probably have no thing that they do.
Yeah.
Other than just get into drama or watch drama on TV.
Hey, don't attack me. I love dramas on TV.
So today I was just attempting to help beat while all of you were watching. But that's what I think it is. I think they're just grown up teenagers that like
just thrive in that kind of.
They're just continuing to do their own thing. Now it's just a day job instead of going to school.
I feel like I know a few people. Like I don't personally know a few people like that.
Feel free to call people out.
Oh no,
that's what this is for.
No,
you know, I was actually just thinking.
I'm too much of a bitch.
I was thinking of. Actually, I won't.
Let's not call people out. Let's not start this off with like people just immediately hating us.
I know. Just to think that possibly this person would watch the podcast and they'd know exactly who they are and how much of a bitch they are to people.
Damn, now I'm kind of curious.
I'll say her initials. JG. You've never met this
I'm
person.
like, no, I wouldn't know.
This person is back from where I went to high school, and she was awful to people. I mean,
Jesus.
literally awful. And like, the crazy thing about it is that she had everything going for her. I met her parents before, and they're super cool people. They were like, she's like a big sports person, and everyone loved this girl. For the life of me, I have not the slightest fucking idea why. I think she was awful.
Really?
Yeah, I never, other than the group of people that she was like always around, I don't know a single person that she was cool to.
I know one person like that who still, I think, to this day talks shit about me. Bullied me my like almost entire life to the point where like I would just like I ended up in like a hospital. It was bad. And people I know that are still like friends with her, I guess, or like they still choose to be friends with this person, but they'll tell me like, oh, she's a miserable person. I'm like, still?
I believe it.
I'm like, all I would want, like, I don't care anymore, but all I would want is like, hey, I'm sorry for ever like being a jerk to you for no reason. And I'd be like, cool. But they're like, no, they would never admit it. I'm like, that's insane to me.
Yeah. To never just let it go.
Yeah, and they're like, I think, like, they still really don't like you. And I'm like, but why? What did I do? And I'm not a perfect person. I feel like I can count on my hand, like, twice in my life that I, like, was very mean to, like, 2 people.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about it, and I still don't know why. And so if you're out there and you know who you are, I'm sorry. But there's, like, that person, I was like, even my old high school teachers were like, yeah, she was really mean to you. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why. And I'm like, my old teachers are saying this? Like, there's definitely something wrong with this person.
My junior year in high school, I realized that I was like a bully for like 3 people. And
oh, okay. I was like, you're like the high school.
Well, I approached those people myself outside of school, and each one of them, I gave them a long, heartfelt apology when I realized that what I thought was simply like making light fun of them and basically just like, you know, basically like almost like a punch on the shoulder type of joke.
Like, haha. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I didn't realize how much it like fucked with them.
Yeah.
And when I did find out how much it fucked with them, I made it a point that year to approach them. Mm-hmm. You know,
oh, that's so big of you. That's great.
Yeah. Well, I really had like some introspective moments, and like I really thought about how I treat people, and I just I made it a point to approach them and make sure they knew that that wasn't what I intended, and that I was very sorry for having done that.
That's great.
And so, and it made me feel a lot better too to know that they, you know, and like one of them I'm actually pretty good friends with still. His name's Byron Ashley, and he's a super cool dude. Back in well, actually, so he lived back in Kansas where I grew up, and but I think he just recently or is going to be moving to Texas.
Oh, nice!
And he's an artist now, super great. He does really good work, super cool dude. But at one point, I was like, I thought
I can't imagine you. I mean, I could see you like joking around.
Well, literally, like I mean, it's so funny. It sounds like stereotypical, but I was like, at one point attempting to like stuff him in a locker type of situation.
Cameron, that's not a punch on the shoulder joke.
But the thing is like me and all the football players, we literally just
played football?
Yeah.
Oh, this makes a lot more sense.
We literally just, it was roughhousing. But the thing is that Byron didn't know me like well enough to understand that I wasn't trying to embarrass him in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, but I did.
Yeah.
And you know, once I understood his perspective, literally, like, it never even dawned on me at the time which, I mean, it was high school, so, like, I'm sorry, guys.
We were all stupid.
Yeah, I didn't, like, if you don't know, or if it's been years since you've been in high school, we were awful to each other. Kids are awful to each other. And, but at the time, I thought it was literally just roughhouse. I mean, literally, like, all kinds of weird.
Was he also on the football team, or he was just like a random student?
No, but he was friends with a bunch of athletes. He was a tennis player, and yeah. Well,
wow, the jocks versus the tennis jock.
Well, the thing is, other tennis players didn't have a problem with us, but like I did. Again, I never thought about what it would be like to, you know.
It was more like everyone else is doing it. Might as well join in.
I mean, well, literally, it's like
mob mentality.
Again, like we had we were doing all kinds of dumb shit back then. I mean, literally, like, and the football team, like especially, had some really like, we had really good like kind of brotherly camaraderie going on, but a lot of it was also like bordering on, you know, homosexual like goofing around. We had this one guy that would always like somehow he would always end up naked. It was so weird.
Where is he now?
Well, actually, I don't want to name him just because, like, I just told you that he was always naked around us. I don't know why. Literally, I'm telling you, like, I've never seen a penis more than this particular guy's penis. Just running around, just totally comfortable being butt-ass naked in front of everybody.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I always wondered about him. Like, but, I mean, either way, man, hey, whatever.
You do you.
Yeah. But he, actually, the cool thing about him, and we won't spend too much time on this since I'm not telling anybody who these people are. Like, they're probably like, all our listeners are like, all right, who the hell is that? Who cares? You know, but anyways, he just actually started a trucking company out in the Midwest.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so he's got a whole company going on, so that's super cool for him. Well, actually, his initials are also JG, but he doesn't suck. Yeah, he's a cool dude. His name's Joseph.
I thought we weren't.
I'll just give you that. I mean,
last name is a G.
A lot of people are named Joseph, so your identity's safe with me, pal. For now, anybody who went to the high school that I did, they know exactly who I'm talking about. As soon as you say, "Oh, he was naked." Oh.
That's crazy. He was just known for that?
Yeah, just always dick out, running
That's
around.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I was definitely known as like a weirdo.
Yeah.
For sure. You were obviously a
never
jug.
change.
Yep, I am pretty fucking weird.
My
friends are weird.
Yeah, I was a weirdo too. Like, by no means was I like a cool kid. I mean, like I was pretty cool with everybody, but like, I mean,
you weren't like a popular kid.
I wouldn't have considered myself popular at all.
I want to see your old yearbook, and then I feel like I can make a decision.
Just without facial hair, it's the same thing. You know, I never knew how to dress. Kind of like, I dress like a dad, you know, and like I dress like a 40-year-old man, like just flip-flops everywhere.
That is true.
Yeah, chanclas
yesterday
everywhere.
I didn't ask you, but I was like,
well, Sandy specifically was like, wear, like, hide your toes. Wear, like, dress up, hide your toes. And I was like, got it.
I'm so glad she said that. But when you walked up to the house, I looked at you, and you were dressed very nice. And then I looked down.
Sliders.
With socks. And I was like, I'm sure he brought shoes. And then I saw you grab your shoes, and I was like, thank God.
No. I busted out. I actually wore pants, so that doesn't happen often, but I did. I wore pants. Well, the thing is, I grew up in Kansas, so it's like there's snow so much out of the year, and then when it's not snowing, it's like it's insanely hot at like for like a month in the summer. It's insanely hot July, and then it starts to cool down. We have a nice long fall, and then it's intense winter for an abnormal amount of the year compared to other states like California. Like, you guys, our winter here, you guys, I live here, but like
I was like, what?
Our winter here in California is like it feels like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's not even.
Yeah, but like out in Kansas, it's like, and we also get like 3 feet of snow every year.
Would you prefer having all seasons or no?
I would prefer having all seasons, but at the same time, I don't miss snowstorms. I don't miss. I also don't miss when it gets to be. So after the snowy part of Kansas is winter, it's just a long time of very, very cold. But no ice, no snow, no anything. It's just very cold, you know? And so it's like you're just always cold, and that sucks. So now that I'm here in California, shorts, flip-flops, this skin...
Like, this is my life.
Dude, like, you don't understand. There was a point where, like, my legs were very white. because I wore jeans the entire year.
You don't get tan that fast, though, do you?
No, not really. But I mean, I'm saying like my whiteness now.
Is nothing
compared to, like, I'm talking vamp.
I definitely want to see some old photos now.
Well, I don't have any pictures where you can see my legs or anything like that because they're always in jeans.
Oh, that's true, because you're cold.
But literally full on vamp. Full on, like, neck down. And, like, here, it would be like, if I was wearing a shirt outside, it would be this, would be sort of tan, but not really.
And then just
like,
white.
Very white. And, like, but, I mean, it's literally long sleeve shirts or always jeans and boots because, like, you know, it's snow. So you don't want to be wearing tennis shoes or anything like that. They're going to get all wet. And so I would just,
They're just not really a big style. It's just, like, dress for the weather.
Basically. I mean, you had to. It was by necessity.
Yeah.
So it was, but yeah, now that I'm in California, like, I mean, California people are like, why don't you wear this? Or why don't you, like, dog, you don't understand. I am just thankful.
This is comfortable. I don't have to be in jeans. That's how I feel about jeans, too. Like, they look great, but they're so uncomfortable, and then, I don't know, they're just, I could wear shorts all day.
We also spend an abnormal amount of time in traffic.
Yeah.
So you just sit there getting sweaty. If you don't wear something that just breathes, like, you just get sweaty. And so it's like if, honestly, I mean, if you really have the time and you don't mind it, the ideal way to live in California is to carry, like, the clothes that you want to wear out in public in your car with you and just wear something comfortable until you get there and change.
Yeah, that's very practical. Yeah, I've done that so many times.
Yeah.
Like, I went to Disneyland all day one day, brought extra clothes to go out clubbing later, heels, whatever.
Especially, yeah. So, like, if you leave something like Disneyland and then you don't have enough time to get home, because even though Disneyland is only, 20 minutes from here, it could literally take you 2 hours to get there. Yeah. Sometimes in traffic.
I think it takes me, if we went in traffic, which we usually don't, 40 minutes to an hour. Okay. Maybe a little bit longer if it's really that bad.
Yeah, well, depending on what time you leave. Because if you left at, say, 5 o'clock.
Yeah. I think one time when the first time we were, starting this, I was like, oh, I need your help with something. Can you come over? And you're like, I'll try to get there as fast as possible, but the traffic. And I was like, what do you mean? And I looked at the time and I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to take him 2 hours to get here.
Me especially, because where we live on the exact opposite sides of LA. Yeah. And so I literally have to go through downtown.
Yeah, that's...
to get here. And, bro.
Yeah. Not like the business.
I discovered what hell is going to be for me.
it's sitting in traffic.
Sitting in downtown traffic on the 10. At 5 o'clock. Yeah.
I don't know how I used to live in downtown LA. Rob used to hate coming to see me.
I bet. Well, I mean, I'm sure you just had a bitchin' apartment, but
it was okay.
Getting to you is the hard part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he loved to come see me, but he was like, man, I don't understand why you live here. He was like, first of all, you're it was when we first started dating, so he's like, technically you're a single female living. I live by MacArthur Park. I don't know if you know where that is.
I remember.
Yeah.
Remember we went to that club and got that. We're not club. We were at that bar and down right over by MacArthur Park, and that's where I got that other good old fashioned.
The vegan one?
Yeah, at the vegan place.
Was that one good? I thought I drank that one and I was like, eh.
It was stiff, but it was good. I mean, it wasn't bad. I've had some shit.
But yeah, when I used to walk around by myself and I had to park down the street because I had a roommate and she got the parking spot because she was there initially. It was a cheap apartment for the size and for the area, even though it's not a super nice area.
Downtown is sort of expensive for what you're getting. It's crazy.
But it was because she got it from the previous roommate who just passed it off to her, so we never had to deal with the massive rent change, the price increase, just a little bit at a time. And then, but it was great in my 20s, just to, I'll take a 2-minute Uber to...
Yep, to whatever bar or whatever club you're trying to go to.
And it was fun, but I think to this day all the time. I used to go out or come back home and on this stoop, it'd be some guy shooting up heroin and I'd be like, oh, excuse me. And they'd be like, oh, my bad. And just scooch over.
My bad, dog.
And I was they were really nice, but I was just wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, super nice guys just shooting up heroin.
Yeah, and I remember my mom was just I can't believe you're fucking moving here. It's so dangerous. And I was like, don't worry, Mom. The hospital is walking distance.
Well, I mean, it doesn't get much better even over in Santa Monica. I gotta say,
yeah.
literally, I came outside one day and there was a crack pipe smashed on the hood of my car, on the Volkswagen.
They were like, I have no more.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That got me. I was like, really? You smashed this? Like if you left it on the curb, I would smash this just out of principle. But like, you smashed it? Like,
or maybe it was their last straw. Maybe they had like a new leaf and they were like, I am done with this, and they just.
Well, I'm glad my car.
Your car just happened to be.
It could be the sacrificial stone to break this.
No more crack.
Yeah, please, no more crack. No more crack 2024.
Oh, Lord.
That's what I want. No more crack. Tired of all these.
This is a weird segue, but that made me think of like Skid Row, and then Skid Row. This is how my brain works.
Segue at all. What's that?
But and then I think of Skid Row, and then I think of like the Cecil Hotel? Cecil Hotel?
Yeah, Cecil Hotel.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing with it now, but there's like a TikTok guy. I think his name's Pete. He's like a tall, skinny redhead kid, and he lives across the street from it. And he'll do like random updates sometimes, and I'm just like, that's crazy. Like
the Cecil Hotel is a demilitarized zone.
What?
It's a demilitarized zone.
It is?
I mean,
like literally?
I'm exaggerating.
I was like,
but like it's to a certain floor. I don't remember what is it, the 10th floor.
Yeah,
or something like that.
It's
and then everything above that, it's still the Cecil Hotel.
But right now, I think it's like under construction or something. But in my brain, I'm just like, man, how do all these people? It's just like it's like a black hole
a
for
hive of scum and villainy.
Now, scum and villainy, hey.
Yeah, dope little bar, scum and villainy. So it's in Hollywood. Yeah, in Hollywood. Oh, yeah, right on Hollywood Boulevard.
It's by the Beetlejuice bar, like across the street from the Beetlejuice bar, and there's like the Popeyes.
Yeah. It's cool. It's a little Star Wars and like all things nerd themed bar. It's super sick. You guys got to go there sometime. Drinks are great, you know, and the staff there is pretty cool. And they have like, you gotta just go.
I think sometimes they have like trivia night, karaoke night, and then I think just random days. Some of the staff will dress up, some of them won't, but you know, I think it's just up to them.
It's a cool nerdy vibe.
Yeah,
it's cool if you're into like anything pop culture related or just movies in general.
Cool to check out.
Cool place to go check out once in a while. It is on like the Walk of Fame, like right on the stars.
Yeah. I mean, it goes down pretty far. It's not near the main part, but it's still like on the stars.
Yeah, it's still on the stars. So if you're from LA and you know that area, bit of a tourist trap area, and there's always some crazy chud doing something wild.
That's true, but it's a cool place
still.
to bar. There's Scum and Villainy, there's the Beetlejuice bar, and I think there's like a few small clubs, maybe.
Definitely. There's
and a few more bars and stuff, but it's fun.
Liquor stores.
Yeah.
You know, if that's your thing, I don't know. But it's definitely a cool little bar to check out. Where were we before that? I was thinking of something to say. Oh, the Cecil Hotel. It's literally like a black hole of just scum.
But did you see they have like an ad painted on the side now, which is technically, I thought it wasn't. I don't know 100%. If you do know, comment or tell us. That because it's a historical building, that's why they have so many like weird loopholes or things that they can't do because it's so old. Yeah. But the side of it had the old logo.
Did they redo it?
They did a huge ad on it, like a, I don't know if it was like Target or whatever, but like for example a Target ad, they just like put it up, it looked like it's painted on, and I was like absolutely baffled because I was like, what the heck? And I was like, man, if it's technically a historical building, I get it, like just there's a lot of things that they can't do, but I'm like, why don't they just like dedicate part of the hotel to the history of it and make it more of a museum and not let people stay there anymore?
Is it really like something we want to remember?
maybe to like not.
Oh God, like people were. Yeah, so many people died from like drug overdoses and freaking.
But I think the problem was because it was right next to it was a place where like cops and stuff would just drop them off there because it was just easier than taking them in, you know?
Oh man, I don't think it's a history worth remembering, but
maybe so we don't do it again because we seem to keep doing it. Because they were talking about tearing down like the old Sears or something that's like completely closed and making that for like.
That's such a cool looking building though.
It is. I was like, man, I feel like that should be something. Yeah, and I was like, I understand like we need to find help for people But I was like, that is a large building. Did we not learn our lesson with the Cecil Hotel?
Yeah.
Like,
well, they really need to just, like, buy the property from whoever owns it and renovate it.
I don't know.
Like, turn it into something, because I'm telling you right now, that could be an apartment building for, like, the homeless. Could literally be that.
But isn't that the problem? Because part of it is supposed to be only for, like, affordable housing.
There's people that live in there.
I don't know about now, but so at one point I'm sorry,
are you talking about the Sears building or the Cecil Hotel?
The Cecil Hotel. Are you talking about the Sears building?
It still is that. I was talking about the Sears building.
Oh yeah, so they want to make it homes for, like, homeless people or, like, to help people. But I was like, it's such a large building that I feel like you really have to regulate that correctly.
Well, yeah, the Cecil Hotel thing was basically, it was the state forcing the hotel to be part low-income housing. I was saying the state needs to buy the Cecil Hotel.
Oh.
You know, and they need to turn it into an actual, like, living facility, apartments.
Yeah.
But the city also, or, like, the state also should be going in there and, like,
making
basically,
sure.
yeah, like, you need to be doing better or you can't be here anymore.
Yeah, I was like, that's the way it should be, like, regulated. I know there's maybe not enough employees. I don't know. But it's not working. And then when they were like, oh, they're talking about doing that with the Sears building. And I was like, what? You couldn't do it with that hotel that's way smaller. And now you want to do it on a massive scale?
Well, like I said, the Cecil Hotel, they were forced to do it. The state didn't offer to, like, we'll bring people in there to help out.
That's crazy.
No. It was like, sorry, we're making this new rule now. You have to take on this new responsibility.
If somebody said you could tour it for free at night, would you?
No.
Do you think it's haunted?
Yeah, I think if anywhere would be haunted, the Cecil Hotel would be haunted. I mean, literally, like, that girl was in the water.
I know, that's so sad.
Like, she flowed through the pipes. People were drinking her.
People took her home.
Yeah, like, guys, people were showering in her. They were drinking.
That is so sad. I think I watched that documentary on Netflix, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Gross.
Ugh.
People who couldn't pay for cocaine or crack or whatever were getting chucked off their balconies and shit. Like,
yeah.
Bro, people were taking the express elevator to hell down there. Man. Ugh. What a fucked up building. That's just... I don't want to be anywhere near that fucking place, you know? Like,
every time I drive by it, I'm like, oh my god. There's like a feeling.
Yeah. Well, there's... I think if psychics were, like, more... If there were more actual psychics, I feel like they'd be very uncomfortable in the city of Los Angeles. A lot of the hotels in Los Angeles, I think, have seen some shit.
Yeah.
Hotels in general have seen some shit. I mean...
Did I tell you about my weird experience in Grand Canyon?
Please do. We're going to get into the territory of ghosts.
I bet Cameron's going to be like, liar! But it was such a weird feeling. So Rob and I did like a...
I'm sorry. Let me preface this really quickly. I would not call you a liar. I used to be part of the Kansas Ghost Hunters Society.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was an amateur ghost hunter at one point.
That's amazing. We should do that. That should be a whole segment. We should just go places.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Once we get the equipment going, that would be.
I think we sent some stuff to Angelina, and then she got too scared to do it.
Tell her to send it back. Let's do it. Well. Okay, so all right. Well, I'll tell my little story after you, but let me just preface with that I used to be like a ghost hunter, quote unquote.
Uh-huh.
You know, so sort of a ghost hunter, mostly just a ghost nerd, whatever. And I would go into abandoned buildings back in Kansas, all over the state of Kansas. Me and my friends would go in there and take pictures and try to get EVP and all that kind of stuff. So I'm low key more willing to hear you out than probably most people.
Okay.
Now go.
I feel like I've told you, but maybe not. So we were doing a road trip, like it was like during COVID time, and we did like Grand Canyon. Recently. Yeah. So like, but it was like, was it last year? It was like during winter, like December, January, I think, or right before Christmas. And we did like Grand Canyon, we did the Area 51.
The best thing that you could have done there was literally just not acknowledge that it was there, because you like I was saying earlier, you really won't ever get like a straight answer to how this works, because we don't really know. But you know, some people say that if you acknowledge something, you might bring it home with you. And so the last thing you want is any of whatever the hell that hotel had going on in it following you home. So. Good thing you didn't acknowledge it. Ignore it. That's great. Whatever. You know?
I've had some weird stuff happen to me, and Rob's like, I'm still like a skeptic. Mm-hmm. But Rob's like, why? All this weird stuff happens to you. I'm like, because I could just be like crazy.
Yeah, no, that's healthy skepticism. Like, that's actually really introspective. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, but I have always kind of believed in ghosts and all that kind of stuff. I've always found aliens, Sasquatch, all that stuff. I've always found it interesting.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't actually start getting into like looking into ghosts and like, talking to people that are part of. I found a Facebook group that was like, Kansas ghost hunters and stuff like that, and I just like joined it and talked to people, and it was cool. Yeah, it was cool. And but the reason I really started thinking about it again was, so I was, like I said, I was a Supernatural fan, but also when I first had to get a job in high school, I was working at a senior living facility, and if you know anything about that, that's essentially where asshole people take their elderly parents and just put them somewhere so they don't have to deal with them anymore. Yeah. And it's pretty fucking awful, and the people in those retirement homes are really fucking cool, and they have some of the most badass stories ever. I mean, we're talking about people who lived through Woodstock, World War II. They saw everything. And, like, they're just in these retirement homes just, unfortunately waiting to pass away. Mm-hmm. And it happens all the time. And that's what really sucks, is because you'll become really good friends with these people. Yeah. Serving them dinner, talking to them, giving them, like, great conversation, and they're telling you stories. And then your next shift, you come in to find out, oh, yeah, Jerry passed away last night.
It's awful.
I worked at 2 different senior living facilities just because I got recommendations after I worked at the first one, and they paid pretty decently at the time for me because I just needed gas money basically, and so I was working there as a server. And anyways, both of the places I worked at were the most fucking haunted places I have ever been. Like, literally, I mean, I'm telling you, maybe I'm crazy, maybe there was no ghosts at all, but I'm telling you, literally, without fail, every night after serving dinners, we would be, after everybody went back to their rooms and everything, we're cleaning up, resetting the dining areas so they're ready for the next day, vacuuming, all that stuff. I shit you not, without fail, every shift, there's like figures walking across the room, and you look and they're not there. I'm telling you, it was like literally they're there. Yeah. And then the second you turn to look and see who it is, it's no one's there, and it's like.
But it's a feeling, right? Too. Like for me, I feel like.
I'm telling you, I remember seeing like a pair of brown pants and shoes,
and then
like just literally 20 feet away from me, standing in the middle of an aisle facing me as I'm like vacuuming, and then I like turn to look to see who it is, and no one's there. Like, I could tell you that they're literally black shoes.
But doesn't it feel like, for me, I feel like visually seeing something that wasn't there is a creepy feeling in itself, but the feeling I had in the weird moments that I've had in my life is different than just me like, getting startled by something. Do you know what I'm saying? Kind of. Or was it different for you?
Well, it's like a mixture of feelings. Mm-hmm. Like all the feelings, all the feeling of being watched, the feeling of somebody being close to you, maybe smelling what smells like aftershave or something.
Yeah.
All of those feelings that come together to get you to realize that there's someone near you, and then you look.
Yeah.
All of those sensors were hit, and I would just turn to see who it was, as if it was a one of the residents.
Yeah.
Approaching me to ask me if like I could go get him an extra thing of pudding or whatever, like, which would happen sometimes. They would just come out and be like, "Hey, do you have any more of that cake?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, of course," and go get it for them. And that's all. That's what we did, And then we even had a table set aside for them. Like, if you come in and get it, just put your dirty dishes there. We'll pick it up in the morning.
Yeah.
Like that's all it was. But I'm telling you, without fail, every shift,
that's crazy.
I'd be doing something, and then I would think someone's approaching, and I would turn to look, because we also had like a really particular way of, setting the placemats, and the silverware needs to be put in a certain way, and it's just there was a standard that the servers that we had to do. And sometimes even, during a shift, we weren't supposed to take tips, but they insisted on tipping us. And so it was nice, too, because we were in high school, like trying to make money. And anyways, they would sometimes walk up and be like, because their families would come and visit them, and, we would always roll out the red carpet for the families to, and they appreciated it. And so they would always, walk up and be like, pat you on the shoulder and slip a 20 and then be like, thanks, I appreciate you, like, being so on top of it. And, like,
did you ever see somebody that you thought it was them, like, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, so I knew this one guy who served in World War II, super cool dude, just a total badass. He was telling me stories, so he served in Japan, and he was literally one of the guys that ran with a guy that had a flamethrower. All he had was a shotgun. He was literally into trenches, fighting, and then back out for the flamethrower guy to do his work. And so he had some gnarly stories.
Oh, man.
But he was a super cool dude. He was, surprisingly well put together for how old he was. I mean, he was literally like 97. And he was like, but it was so crazy when he did end up passing away. It was so crazy because, like I said, he's so sharp. He was just there.
And then it just happened.
And then, one night he just went to sleep and didn't wake up. But, I mean, what a hell of a life. You know what I mean? Like, he was alive for the Great Depression and then, like, and then served in World War II and then, like, the end of his life was, like, right there. I mean, this was back in...
We're going to be, hopefully, 90 talking about our podcast.
I hope, yes. I mean, this was back in, like, 2012 or something like that. This was so long ago. But anyways... super, super cool dude, and I specifically remember because he had this like thing, the way he would like talk, he'd be like, "Hey, sport, come here," he was really he didn't have a lot to say, but when he talked, he just would get the information out like that. And I just remember two of us. It was me and a guy named Chris. Yeah, so funny. I used to work with a guy literally named Christopher Wallace. And so we'd all call him Biggie Smalls. And so me and Biggie Smalls were like setting up for the night. We were just about finished, and we both specifically remember hearing someone say, "Hey, sport," and we like looked, and then we stopped, and then I remember feeling immediately like this cold shiver.
Ooh, I got goosebumps.
I looked at Chris and I was like, "Did you hear that?" And he was like, "Yeah." Was that Tom?
Oh, I have goosebumps.
Oh my god, I kind of do too. But it was like, I remember it. Like, I was like, it didn't even occur to me. I was like, Tom. Like, I looked. And then I remembered, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, Tom. And, like, it was the craziest thing ever. But it happened, like, stuff like that happened so often that, like...
Do you think it's, like, the residual of them being there for a certain amount of time, or because
Perhaps.
they want to reach out?
I hope it's just like so again, I don't know how exactly it works, but like if anyone like decided to stick around, I really hope it wasn't Tom. I really hope he just went on to whatever they
maybe he just wanted to freak you out for a little bit and
I hope.
leave.
He was also a big practical joker too.
Makes sense.
He was big, so I hope it was maybe just a residual, but I really hope if anyone out of all the people I met at those retirement homes, if he just went to heaven, that would be the cherry on top. Super cool dude. But yeah, so Tom, I won't say his last name, but yeah, he super cool dude. I was really sad when I found out that he passed away. Yeah. But that happens so often that like
it's hard to kind of
when I got to a second senior living facility, and I didn't last very long there. I was just done. I was done with that shit. It's like
it takes a certain type of person to to work there, but then to also like endure, especially if you're a people person, which I feel like you are.
Yeah, I talk to every single one of them.
Yeah.
And the other thing is because it is also kind of a revolving door, because the room's got to get filled or the place closes down. Yeah. We don't really have like a vacancy sign out front. It's pretty much always stocked.
Yeah.
And they come in. We feed them every single day. We talk to them, and then they go off and do their thing. They'll have like a band playing in the big common area. And
there's always like activities.
Yeah, so they're not like hanging out, but some of them did. They would when there was something going on, they'd come over like, "Hey, you guys have any coffee?" Of course,
got the creaking on your chairs right now.
I'm sorry. But we were like, we'd bring them something, and we would just get to know them. Like the bosses didn't like us talking to them so much, just because they're not going to be here forever.
They're like, you got to take a step back.
You got to you can't get too personal. But at the same time, like, I got to say, they loved the fact that we were getting personal.
Because who else, they see each other every day. You guys are the only other people.
The only other people that they see all the time is their nurses. And that's it. But that's it. The nurses, they weren't, it wasn't assisted living. It was unassisted living. Oh. So the nurses just pop in. Hey, do you need anything? How are you on your medication? Cool. Peace. And that was it. Other than that, these people are literally just chilling in their rooms, looking out the window. And that's the thing. That's why, like, when my boss would be like, you don't need to be too personal with them. You know, you're just here to do a job and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, you're right. I'm sorry. I got distracted talking to him. But in my head, I was like, you can eat the fattest dick on planet Earth. I'm going to, like, talk to these people and give them some, like, interpersonal communication with other people. Like, I don't fucking care that you don't want me to, like, not speak to them. Like, fuck off. Yeah. Their kid doesn't come to see them but one time a month.
Well, so my family in Korea, one of them...
I get all worked up. Like,
well, because I get it. Like, one of my family members in Korea, my aunt, is married to... He's, like, a pastor, but they also... His family owns, like, hospitals. I think one of them is for the elderly, specifically, I think, with Alzheimer's. I don't remember. I was, like, 19 when I volunteered there when I was living in Korea.
Yeah.
And then the other one was like a mental hospital, so it was like all ages, but you know, and they would take it was like they live on the countryside of Korea, but they're like very well off, and it was kind of creepy, but so it's like just all the family homes. Oops, sorry, it was all the family homes, and so I would stay there sometimes, and then there's just the hospitals up there, and family homes, I mean like straight up my uncle's like brother and another family, and just like huge like mansions, just a few of them, and then just the hospitals, right? And so my aunt was like, why don't you like just help us out, like volunteer and something to do and something to have and stuff. But she told me the same thing. You can't be like personable with them, you can't take anything from them, but every single time they would like shove things in your pockets, like, oh, please take it. One of them was like, oh, my son he was not like a high politician, but like city, you know, and she showed me like his poster, like his campaign poster thing and everything, and I was like, oh, like that's so nice, like when's the next time he's coming? And she was like, oh, I haven't seen him in months. Like, what? You know? And so I would like spend extra time with her. My aunt would be like, you can't do it, and I get it, because like
there's another phenomenon working in these retirement homes. I won't spend a lot of time on it because these people aren't worth it, but there's like a lot of younger women that you would see coming in to hang out with the residents, and a lot of them, you know, got a big old ring on their finger. I knew a couple of them, and I was pretty short with them because I was like, what you're doing is pretty shitty.
I mean, like, smart, but fucking awful.
Yeah, literally awful. Like, there was a guy that, I don't remember his name, but he was literally falling apart at the seams. I mean, he had so many things wrong with him. He was a really interesting guy, too. He used to work with the mob. He wasn't part of the mob, but he owned a bunch of hotels in Miami. And anyways, he was loaded. I mean, he was literally loaded. Like, but I'm telling you, he was falling apart. He was literally falling apart at the seams. If anything could go wrong was going wrong with this guy. And, like, you just knew that there wasn't a lot of time left for him. And anyways, he had this young chick that was always there with him, and I just assumed it was his daughter for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and this is your dad or whatever, and she was like, oh no, it's my husband. And I was just like, got it, you know. And I just, you know, but who am I to? I'm sure he appreciated her, but
yeah.
Who am I?
I mean, at least she was there, right?
That's true. His son would come by once in a while, and he was just the biggest fucking loser.
I feel like the problem would be like if you saw like the drama between families, like if she would come in and then like the families would come in and be like, oh, no, she's taking everything.
The only person I ever saw was his son. He was a big shithead too. I mean, you know the guy from that RV movie where he was like no regrets, that type of dude, like
Trailer Park Boys? No.
No, it's the one where they're supposed to be moving a bunch of weed for this like rich guy. And anyways. It has, like, I can't remember his name. Anyways, but just, like, the goofiest freaking, like, I don't know, like, Eminem wannabe type dude. Like, just such a goofball.
That's annoying.
And that guy would come in, and he would basically just be like, he's like, yeah, Gramps, like, what's up? Oh, it's good to see you. And, like, but he would be in, like, every month or so and just come in once. And, like, I talk to this dude more than his own son does. And it's just, like, so goofy. Like, I
could see why there's some residual spirit kind of activity for sure.
A lot of stuff for those people is like unresolved, you know, I imagine. Yeah. You know, that guy, he wanted me, because I was, at the time I was going to a technical college for automotive technology, and he was like, as soon as he heard that, he was like, you think you could build a car? And I was like, it would take a lot of time, but yeah, I think I could. And he was like, I want to buy a kit car of like a like a Cobra, like a Ford Cobra. He wanted to build it, and then he's like, you should help me build it. I'll pay for it all, and then you can have it when I die.
What the?
And I was like, damn. Because
you're like, I have to say no.
Well, I was like, I really want to do that, but like at the same time, like I feel bad because it's like, man, you're gonna be dead before
it's
this
done.
finished.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can't. But like, he wanted to so badly.
Yeah.
Like low key, I feel like, and that's probably kind of one of the shittier things about it is that like they want you to like take that role that their family just isn't taking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like because they just toss them into a retirement home and that's it. Like. So, anyways, we're going to get off of this topic. It's just sad.
We're sad now.
Depressing.
Again, we started with depression, did a little bit more, and now we're back.
Life. But the one thing I wanted to say about asylums is there's the Kansas residence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this like asylum, like mental institution type thing that was in Topeka. Mm-hmm. And we went there because it's all shut down. And anyways, I have a story where we went there one time, not exactly legally, but there's no windows and no doors. So what are you gonna do? It's not like I really
can't stop us.
I didn't break in, and we went in and we were trying to run EVP, and which was difficult because so many people have come in there and just vandalized the place to high hell. So it's like the floor is just covered in glass. So like you're not really getting clear EVP. Like there's so much white noise going on, or so much noise going on. And so anyways. We were going in there. We were trying to get EVP, and we were just running some, normal kind of picture taking to try and just see if we can get anything. And, anyways, it was a pretty normal night. We were really on edge because we could tell that there was like police all over the area, mm-hmm. and they were really. It seemed like there was a lot of spotlights that night on the area, just because they like generally try to see if anyone's like up there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so. We were kind of on edge because of that. We were also worried about possibly running into homeless people. We never liked doing that, because Kansas didn't have like a ton of like chuds, but mm-hmm. the ones that we did have were really bad. So we were like, we were just trying to be as careful as possible. And anyways, we were at the very top. We made it to the very top office of this building, mm-hmm. right? And it was a really long room, and at the end there was a big circular window. It looked like something out of a movie. And the window was busted out. Mm-hmm. So we walked up to this window, and we were looking out all over. It had a huge view of Topeka. And we were looking out, and we heard, down on the bottom floor, a door slam. And we were like...
But there's no doors, you said, right?
Well, most doors had already been ripped off the hinges and shit. But, there was still a door or two here. But we heard a door slam. Mm-hmm. And immediately we were like, there's either a cop in here or, security or something, or there's a homeless person.
Yeah.
But either way, they slammed the shit out of this door. So we were like, oh, damn, So we were trying to be as quiet as possible. We were looking to see if there was a flashlight. Because if there were a flashlight, it's like, okay, we need to hide. Because security would straight up hold you there until cops show up.
Oh God!
So we were like, fuck, we're on the top floor. There's literally no way out.
Yeah.
So we're waiting, and we don't hear anything, and we're also listening, and I don't hear any glass. So I'm thinking they're either just standing down there with no flashlight in literally a pitch black building, or it's like a chud, down there. And so I'm just waiting to hear if there's somebody mm-hmm. in the building, but we don't hear anything. So I'm thinking, okay. It's been 10 minutes now. We're just waiting, not hearing anything. So it's okay. We should probably make our way out. So we just made our way down the stairs, and nothing super strange had happened at this point yet, other than the door slam. But anyways, we got to the main lobby of this building, mm-hmm. and right by the front door, there's a landing for the stairs, and on either side there's stairs into a basement. And we don't go in the basement. Because we know for a fact, we had been there before in the daytime, and we know for a fact there's a bunch of black mold down there, and we were like, we don't go down there, we don't want to deal with it. So I'm sitting here, and the front door, by the way, has been boarded up, and there's just one board that had been ripped out, mm-hmm. and that's how we got in. And so we would have to crawl under. And so anyways, I'm sitting there with the flashlight waiting, letting people go ahead of me, and I got this weird feeling. Literally, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. Mm-hmm. And I turn around, almost because I felt like somebody was behind me. So I turn around and I look, nobody. And I'm just waiting. Still don't see anything. Excuse me. And then I heard, way on the other side of the room, crunch of glass. And
Hell no.
Yeah, I'm looking with the flashlight, and my buddy's like, what? And I'm like, I thought I heard something. I'm just looking, because I don't want anybody to sneak up behind me while I'm trying to crawl out from under the store. And if I have to, I'm going to drop down and like roll really quickly just to get out. And I'm looking, I don't see anybody. And then so I kind of bring the flashlight down, I'm kind of making my way under the door, and I hear another crunch. And I look again, I don't see anybody. I'm like, okay, it's time to go. I gotta go. So I crawl under pretty quickly, then I get out from under the door, and I start making my way down the front stairs of this building towards the lawn. And I stop about halfway, because like, I didn't hear anybody say anything, but I almost got the same feeling as if somebody said, hey.
Yeah.
And so you stop and look back. And I looked back, and I'm looking through that hole, and I shine my flashlight. And I'm telling you, my light did not illuminate anything past the door. Like, the hole was just black.
Oh, hell no.
As if there was somebody sitting in... Because the stairs that you would have been able to see, you flash the light through that hole, you would be able to see the white stairs.
Mm-hmm. But something was blocking it.
But it's like something was blocking it. And so I'm flashing the light through there, and like I said, I'm just seeing black. And I was like... I just remember being, like, literally petrified. I could not move. I was so scared... because I could see something.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see what it was. It had no detail. It was just black. And I was just... It felt like forever. I was frozen there. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like I couldn't turn away. Like something was like demanding my attention to that particular spot for the longest time.
It's that feeling. Yeah.
And a friend walked up and like patted me on the back. He's like, hey, come on, let's go. We gotta go. Because I was basically just standing there with a flashlight. So that's like anyone who's like looking on the property to see if someone's like up there would immediately know that somebody's there. And so he's like, hey, turn off your flashlight. We gotta go. And I was like, okay. So I turned it off. I finished going down the stairs, and I basically I made it maybe 10 feet onto the lawn when the biggest shard of glass from up at the top out of one of the windows hits on the stairs where I was standing.
Okay.
It just explodes. At the time, I had cuts on the back of my leg and arm from glass that had went flying.
Oh my god.
It was, I'm telling you, like, if I had stayed there, I would have died. It was such a big piece of glass.
Question, so from the big round window, right, is what you're saying? So that boarded up hole to there, how long would it have taken somebody?
Well, okay,
if it was
so
a person,
that big window is actually on the other side of the building, so it was opposite sides of the building. But for somebody to get from where we were at the bottom of the stairs all the way up there, if I'm correct, you're assuming somebody ran up there and pushed a window
like
out.
If that, would it be possible?
It would easily take them 20 minutes to get up there.
Okay.
Because they're like each floor you'd have to go upstairs, and there was like it's like 6 or 7 floors up there. And but I'm telling you, literally, I don't know which window it was that fell. I didn't go back to check, but literally it came down with a pretty good amount of velocity. So what
did everybody else say?
Literally everybody was freaking out because everybody was like, "Oh my god, you almost just died." It was the craziest thing.
Did anyone else get a weird feeling? Or was it just you?
No, it was literally just me. Ugh. And so
something targeted you.
Yeah, it was not cool. I didn't like going to that building. Actually, now that I think about it, I think that was the last time I ever went to that particular building on the Kansas residence. Mm-hmm. It was the last time I ever went to that particular building. We had gone to the main building before and like nothing. I never got a weird feeling. Never saw anything weird. That building actually wasn't that like dilapidated. They always had fencing up around it that had barbed wire, and so like I think they always intended to remodel that particular building, but the one we went to, they had let it get into a state of disrepair.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that particular building and the one across from it are both demolished now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when it was there, I specifically remember. I remember that incident. It was a crazy incident. Ugh. But that was my closest call ever, was that event.
Do you have other incidents? We should do like a...
Yeah, I think we can get into those at a later date. Like a different podcast. But yeah, I have plenty of crazy stories.
I have a few.
We went to the Saley house as well, which is where a young girl murdered her family.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Check out, if you guys want to hear some crazy shit, check out the Saley house incident.
That's nuts.
And it's actually a place where you can you can pay to go inside and check it out. But people commonly pick up spirits and pictures there. Because if I remember correctly, she murdered her family with a hatchet.
So I know, the feeling I get in weird instances, I don't know if I'm 100% comfortable saying, like, it was a supernatural experience, but it was the worst feeling I've ever had in my life. It made me uncomfortable, but,
maybe even sick to your stomach a little bit.
Yeah, like, it was a feeling that I can't replicate with just feeling like somebody is watching me or stalking me or whatever, right? It was a weird feeling, but I don't know anything else about, like, the camera stuff. Like, so...
What do you mean?
Like, how do you tell the difference between, like, fluff or, like, that's a spirit?
I mean...
So just the feeling, too?
It depends on who you're talking to, because, I mean, gosh, some people will say, like, oh, that orb, it means a ghost, when it's like, all right, it could also just be dust in the air. But, like... I think some things are very clearly something is going on there.
Like, you can't describe that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like...
because you can.
There's, like, light that looks like a person, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, now, again, that could just be a light anomaly, but...
Is it?
You know? Like, it's like an old, dilapidated building where people have died, and it's like there happens to be a light anomaly in a pitch black room in a building that you know people have died in, that you have also never seen this light anomaly anywhere else ever.
Yeah.
And it's like, got it. So there's a 1% chance that is a ghost.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I'm fairly sure that was that one time, because I don't ever catch this anywhere else. Mm-hmm. I'm censoring myself.
Yeah, I was like, why did you censor yourself? I just caught that.
For a moment there, I was like, my mom's going to watch this. So
Cameron, what are are you doing with your life?
I've let so much go in the last hour.
But that's where you censored it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, with my prior story to what happened at the Kansas residence, could definitely not be ghosts. I could have literally just gotten lucky that I didn't have a giant piece of glass fall on me.
I don't know, but the feeling that I feel like it's like faith, right? Like you just have to go with your gut, and you were uncomfortable.
The way I guess I would describe standing on that staircase is probably how a deer feels when it sees like headlights coming straight at it, or like if a deer is sitting there in a field and feels like a predator is watching.
Like you had no flight or fight response. It was just like crap.
It was like, well, I was like trying to like perceive what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, that I know something is there. I don't see anything, and I'm just reading everything, trying to like, where is the source of this discomfort coming from?
Well, like, so, like, the story I just told you about mine, too, Rob was like, why didn't you, like, try to do something, or why didn't you wake me up? And I was like, the feeling I had, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't explain it. I felt...
Yeah, like, well, you're like, processing, because it's like, okay, so, like, you know, you have to know where the threat is to react.
Yeah.
Because if you can know there's a threat in the room, but until you know it's on the left side of the room...
Or here or there.
Like, how would you know to go right if you don't know it's left?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're sitting there trying to find where the threat is so you can react appropriately. Until then, you literally just can't do anything.
Yeah.
You have nothing to work off of. There is no decision to make because you don't even know what's wrong.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's the toughest part. Like, do what? You know, like, close your eyes and see a face. Like, do what?
Yeah, I was like, and he was like, you should have woken me up. I was like, wake you up and do what?
Yeah, like,
you can't help me.
Watch this. Fuck! You know?
Yeah, like, I'm so scared.
Oh my god! And he's like, I don't know what to do.
Where are you going?
What's it saying? I don't know. It's not talking.
It's scaring the shit out of me. It needs help. That's all I know.
Why didn't you wake me up? And just imagine you're like, oh! Just screaming.
He's like, 911. I think my wife's gone crazy.
She's crazy. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
This fucking chair.
Maybe you need to like adjust the way you're sitting.
That's what I keep doing. That's the problem. I keep adjusting.
Squeak, squeak, squeak,
yeah, I
squeak.
know. You know, these chairs, they came from Universal Studios.
They're really cool.
Yeah, they're super cool.
I usually get irritated
like
whenever
chairs,
Cameron brings something new here.
Yeah, I always bring something new here. This place is a museum, though. So.
Yeah. I mean, I love that we have all this stuff, but they are clearly the hardcore geeks, and I'm just here for the ride. But when he brought these in, I was like, yeah, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I was digging the movie theater seats.
It fits in here so well, too.
Very much so. And luckily, they're also very comfortable. So great for storytelling.
Because they're like, they actually
Yeah, I mean, these
We
are
just
supposed
have to like bolt them
keep
somehow.
people comfortable for the next 2 hours.
Because
while
if
they,
you lean
watch a
forward,
movie.
it like kind of just goes.
Well, yeah, they're like made to like launch you out when the movie's over.
They're
Just
like, get the
hell
fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
thanks for your money, fuck off. I respect it. I don't want them to hang out in my movie theater either. Get in, get out.
Man, we talked about ghosts, aliens.
Yeah, maybe we should wrap it up, and we'll save more ghost stories for a different podcast.
Yeah, we talked about depression. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're pretty good.
We
I think
covered pretty
it
much all the bases. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.